Francis got the deal that he was hunting for, signed with PFL. How happy are you for him?
Stoked. One thing I didn't like, I'll say, is fucking what one did when they were, like Francis put it out to them first, this is the offer I have on the table. Can you guys match this? They couldn't match it, and then they put out that statement saying we are withdrawing, and then everyone tried to hop on about it, and then just I just thought that was shady. They didn't have to do that. But anyway.
But as a friend of yours, seeing all the flack that he copped online.
I was just people starting to talk shit. I was just like, the fuck? Stay tuned, relax, But yeah, it's good news. It's good for the game, I think. What I really liked is how his opponent is guaranteed $1 million. That's cool. What he's doing with PFL Africa. Even already, I like AKO, African KO, the one that Kamaru had.
Yeah, so I
like some of the fights I see on there, so you can see the potential already. PFL Africa or whatever, and Francis has a seat at the board or at the table. That's cool. Yeah, but also even this thing his opponent is guaranteed $1 million. How many fighters are gonna be right? I need to get to the PFL. I want to fight Francis because now Francis is the guy. He's the money fight. So that's another twist on it that I like. Yeah, I think also the UFC, they're not dumb.
That's actually a smart thing that I think people haven't pointed at. That people are going to be like, okay, I want this.
Of course, they'll see that. Oh, if I fight Francis, I'm guaranteed $1 million.
And even the high level guys that contracts are running out.
They'll drop out. Yeah. But I think the UFC, they're not dumb. They'll take notice. They know how to adapt. And when something like this happens in another field, it creates a big ripple in the game. And a big enough ripple can force the UFC to change the way, even a small change.
Yeah, that's what, because they were unhappy that Shane Burgos got signed by PFL. Dana wasn't happy that whoever does the contracts let that
go. Yeah, because Shane, I think the last fight was Barboza. Yeah, well, regardless, Shane always comes to fight. He's a guy you don't want to, you want in your promotion, but he's happy with his contract. Showtime's happy with his contract with PFL. There's a lot of guys. Yeah, I feel like the UFC, I think I already said at the post-fight press conference, find a clip if you can.
Francis made the right call. I'm not going to hop on about it, but he's right. It's little things, He's asking for things that should be mandatory. He wasn't asking for, crazy, ridiculous, diva-ish demands, Even something as little as for the guys fighting on the opening, having the fourth or third cornerman being paid for and their hotels being paid for, that sets them up nicely, and they don't have to fork it out of their 10 and 10 or maybe even 10 to pay for their fourth or third cornerman. Little things like that. So he's not being a diva. He's asking for reasonable demands, and I felt like he should have got them. But again, he told me, I said that's not how we do business, but the way we do business has to change, and it will change. He's just the guy to kick in the door.
But the UFC will make change. Rome wasn't built in a day or whatever. So this is a big fucking move. So it causes a ripple that forces change.